Has that woman from the airplane actually been replaced with a clone or something, plus a whole lot more? It's Tinfall Tuesday.
So if you like exposing truth and dropping truth bombs, then welcome to Tinfall Tuesday.
I want the truth!
Well, a big shazam to you people. Y'all know I love conspiracy theories and tinfoil and all that, but part of trying to see through a lens that is more accurate than what the legacy media hands us is just reviewing a lot of stuff. So this morning, I'm filming this on Monday, I just sat down and just looked at what the internet's been looking at over the last 5-10 days. What are people talking about? These are the top conspiracies from the Reddit conspiracy subreddit. If you're not over on Reddit, it's the underbelly of the internet. Don't go there, but there's a lot of fun stuff there. So here's what people are talking about. And at the end, I've got a huge one for you that I love, and it's also a disappointment, and I also still love it. It's great. Stay with me to the last one. It's my favorite. Y'all remember her, Tiffany Gomas. She is that is not real on the airplane and the internet. We all lost our minds, fell in love. She's a wild woman. She sees the lizard people or whatever, and then she comes out and does media a few months later and comes out looking pretty nice, and people are saying it's not really her. Revolutionary Edge 44 posted this over the weekend. Can we please talk about how insanely curious it is that Tiffany Gomas, as seen on police body cam footage, is not the same person who showed up days later to explain her American Airlines incident. She came back. She was much more put together, had lost a little bit of weight in the oncoming weeks. And people are saying it's not her. I don't think there's anything here. I really don't. I think it's her. The big story here is what was she seeing? Some say it was a medication thing that she had. She said she had not taken her medication or something. The real question is, what was she seeing on the airplane? I don't think she's been replaced, and I don't mean this in a negative way. The internet jokes about this. Women can be shapeshifters. You put them in different lighting and different makeup and new hair, maybe slim down or pork up a little bit. They change. They change a little more than men. I don't think there's a lot to see here, but the internet is still questioning whether Tiffany Gomas is even real. This next one I think is super interesting. This is from Money E Guru. I don't know. Just rewatched the 2016 Jason Bourne movie last night and found out how relevant are some of the plot points in the movie with the current world situation. I wasn't the most aware person of this stuff back when I watched the movie, so it didn't register at the time. But nowadays, you just can't help but to be aware of the things that are happening. One being the Riz Ahmed's character being a tech company founder, and it goes on from there. There's a lot of theories out there that movies prepare us and social engineer us to be ready to accept stuff, to be ready to accept different ideas, to move the Overton window. There's a lot of examples where movies are stranger than fiction, or where movies will preemptively prepare an audience and move the Overton window. I don't know, but people are talking about it. Next, here's Pac-Man Peel says this. This is what happens when a plane hits a fire truck. But if it hits the Twin Towers, it will knock them both down. Y'all saw that airplane in New York that hit a fire truck. It disintegrated the airplane, but it's allegedly planes are supposed to take down the Twin Towers, even when they were specifically designed, and this is verifiable, to withstand commercial airline hits. I don't know, but people are still talking about that. I don't think that's the big one, or at least the first step for a lot of folks with 9/11. I told a friend the other day who lives very much in reality, he doesn't chase anything. And this is not a criticism against my friend. He believes Fox News, and I think a lot of folks do. And he just believes what the news tells us. He stays away from nonsense like MSNBC and kind of takes it in and kind of filters for himself. But I told him, I said, if you ever chase down Building 7, it will change your life. That is the red pill of red pills. At least it was for me. Ozempic, let's talk about that. Feels amazing, man gun says, why is Hollywood pushing this Skelify face trend so hard? You know, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them here. Jenna Ortega, Margot Robbie, Miley Cyrus, Erin Moriarty, Ariana Grande, Katy Perry, and Cynthia the Devil Erivo. Folks are getting really, really skinny. And like Cat Williams said, I think last year, Ozempic is kicking Hollywood's ASS. Yeah, Ozempic is kicking their rear end. Why are they pushing it? I don't know, for clicks. What are we talking about? We're doing it. I don't know if it's some demonic push or it is a symptom of the demonic Hollywood that's already there, or people just want to be skinny and they found a way to do it. It ain't good. The end result is not going to be good. All right, next. Stimulated, I don't know how to say that. At this point, I believe any bad guy over the last century was probably a good guy. His example is this article from the BBC. Another user says, this BBC paragraph is absolutely great, directly from the BBC. Libya was ruled autocratically for 4 decades by Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, who oversaw a brutal regime while also providing Libyans with subsidized housing, free education, and free healthcare. If you chase that, and I have no idea the quality of all those products that he offered, but they, on some level, had their crap together. Everyone got to go to college for free. When you got married, you got a house. And there was a lot of good going on in that country. And then we stepped in and fixed it. You can chase the Rothschild's banking system. You can chase the petrodollar. You can chase a lot of different areas. I don't know, but people have been talking about Libya for a few months now. This guy says at this point, I believe any bad guy of the last century was probably a good guy. Today's episode is brought to you by blackoutcoffee.com/Johnny B. You're gonna love it. They got whole bean, they got ground, they got the cups. You're gonna love it. I do a little bit of both. I do Morning Reaper, a traditional flavor, pretty strong. But then I also do like Jamaican Me Crazy or Blueberry Crumble as a little bit of a treat to me. Get buzzed up like I do. It's blackoutcoffee.com/Johnny B. I've got a coupon code down in the description. You're going to save. You're going to support a company that supports America, and you're going to get buzzed up. Yo, people, thanks for every thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. Get yourself subscribed. Thumbs up. All of it is awesome. Got 2 quick birthdays for you. Next, Daniel says, Johnny B, my son's birthday is on April 21. He will be 36. And my birthday is on the 30th. I will be 70 years old. If you can wish us a happy birthday, if you can. Thank you. Daniel, and both of y'all, happy birthday. Appreciate y'all. Next, Sandra says, hey, Johnny, we love your channel and watch every day. My partner, Chuck, celebrates his 58th birthday on Tinfall Tuesday, which is fitting because he's a big conspiracy theorist. Sandra, thank you. Chuck, happy birthday. Get your boot duty checked.
Moon River.
All right, next. This is from International Cyber Digest. Breaking. Bum, bum, bum. FBI Director Kash Patel's Gmail account was hacked by Iranian national state hackers. People have been going through that, digging through all sorts of stuff. They found his, I can't say it, corn accounts and stuff like that. Stuff I don't really care about what he does on the weekends. But they dug into a lot of stuff, and the dude, I don't know if he's compromised. I don't know, but people have been talking about that. Silly Tipo says, Kash Patel email leaked by Iranian hackers. You can chase all that. I don't know how much is there. Most of it seems to be pretty benign, but the conspiracy folks have been chasing it. Next, Profit Tractor says, what would make a person change his name 3 times? Let me ask you that question of the day. What would make a person change their names 3 times? My answer is divorce. Lots of divorce. Well, not so for this guy. Definitely not a hillbilly. That's literary fiction. Born as James Donald Bowman, grew up in the suburbs of Middleton, Ohio. Not poor at all. Went to Yale. Changed middle name to David. Changed name again to Jimmy Hamill. Changed names to J.D. Vance 10 years ago when he married his wife. There's a lot of comments out there in that, like, maybe he wasn't a real Marine. I never went to Paris Island. I'm not allowed to even comment on what's a real Marine versus fake Marine, somebody in the office or behind, outside the wire. I don't know. But he has changed his name, and he does seem to lean into this, I'm a hillbilly, and, you know, he wrote the hillbilly book and all of that, when in reality he went to Yale. I don't know. Name changes and marrying Durkas. I don't know. Next, Profit Tractor also says Apple removes all village names in southern Lebanon from its Maps app. What is this justification for this reason? And a lot of folks started chasing that and said that, hey, they've removed the names. They're going to rename it. Giotto says, getting ready for the new names. We're gonna name it all. We're gonna bomb them all to oblivion and then change the names. Edit had to make an edit after he did his research. Lots of people saying they were never there in the first place. I chased it. Apple says southern Lebanon villages weren't removed from Maps. It never had them. They never had any village names on there. So I don't know if, once again, there's a lot to see there. All right, this next one's interesting, especially following up Trump's post where he was Jesus. You can say he was just a doctor. He wasn't. That was a Christ figure, period. I say he was posting it to mess with Trump. Some folks are posting it saying that's evidence that he is the Antichrist. I don't know. Austin Ratbuster, great name, says Trump not putting his hand on the Bible makes more sense now. I don't know, Austin. How about you capitalize the word Bible? Then we'll have a conversation. So folks showing that, I went and tried to find the actual moments, or were there moments in his second inauguration where he made the oath? Did he have his hand on the Bible at any point? I couldn't find the video. If y'all can find it, let me know. This is evidence, because he would burst into flames if he ever actually touched a Bible. I have seen him touch a Bible, awkwardly though it was. I don't know, but my point today is people are talking about it. Next, user Mep says, please tell me that we don't live inside of a cell. And he posts two pictures here. First is the Oort cloud, and that's us in the middle, if you believe the heliocentric model of the sun, and then Jupiter and Neptune and all of those demonically named planets, and poor little Pluto out there floating around all the way out to the Milky Way. And then the Oort cloud that surrounds us kind of is the model of a cell when he posts a picture of a cell. There's a lot of fun theories. For me, it's just fun to think about, what if we're just one cell within an entire body of another body, and that person or being is on a planet, and their galaxy is just one cell inside of it. It goes on from there. And it reminds me of Orion. If y'all remember that cat from the very end of Men in Black, they kept saying the galaxy is on Orion's belt, and they kept looking up to the Orion galaxy, Orion constellation, but it turns out it's just a charm on that cat, and then they go inside of it, and it's all sorts of atomception stuff. Some folks say that our galaxy is one atom or one electron circle. I don't think so, but I like it. I like looking at that kind of stuff. All right, here's my favorite. I like this one so much. I really, really do. New favorite. Y'all remember DoorDash Grandma last weekend, a week and a half ago, when Trump posted the Jesus picture, and then his explanation in front of cameras was when he opened the door of the White House to get DoorDash from McDonald's, and he stopped and he goes, by the way, I thought I was a doctor. I thought I was part of the Red Cross, and we love those people. And DoorDash Grandma was on there. Well, this is fact, and it's verifiable. Meet this lady. Her name is Sharon Simmons, and she has testified before Congress. A Reddit user says this: it's all grift, my friends, always has been. Here's the context. Today, Trump staged a DoorDash delivery where Sharon Simmons delivered his McDonald's. Trump used Simmons' husband's cancer to claim his Jesus pick was Trump the healer. In July of 2025, Simmons appeared in Congress to support Trump's One Big Beautiful bill. Sharon Simmons sure does get around for a DoorDasher. And I saw that and I chased it. I was okay. It's definitely the same lady. That is verifiable. She's from Arkansas. And then I found this right here, and I was so excited. I was like, the rabbit hole is underway. This was over on 4chan or somewhere, and it was Fox News. You had a U.S. Army soldier speaking about the downed U.S. pilot. It turns out that one, the down photo pilot, is Photoshop. I was excited for about 30 seconds. Fox News did this. DoorDash Grandma slams paid actor rumors after delivering to President Trump at the White House. Arkansas grandmother says her husband is battling cancer and she works to support her family. Allegedly, DoorDash knew they were going to do that publicity stunt where they have a driver go to the White House. She's one of the most famous DoorDash drivers in America. They grabbed her out of the trailer park in Arkansas and had her get in front of the camera. I don't know, but I think the fact that she has testified in the last year in front of Congress is fascinating. All right, there's a group of conspiracy theories, or at least what the conspiracy tinfoil hats are talking about. Which one is most interesting to you? Which one has the most credibility? Let me know. I'll see you tomorrow on Hump Wednesday.
Welcome to Tinfall Tuesday. We hope you sing along.
You want answers? Diabetes.